Pop out. There we go.
Oh. Hello and welcome to the penultimate round of the Simracing-Gp Rookie League Next Gen Touring Car Division B here at the Tor Poznan circuit in Poland. This circuit, which spans 2.5-ish miles or about 4.08 kilometers, is going to be a very big test of the tyres. I've just remembered that I didn't change the round number, so I apologise, but this is round 6 of 7, or the penultimate round, in which the battle for the win of the championship this year can still go down to the wire. Joining me again for this race is Antvot. Hello!
Hello!
Welcome back. The last
Great to be here.
The last race was something, wasn't it?
Yes, it was full of drama and action. We had Pinkwin have that technical issue with his pedals, which unfortunately he had a DNF with, and unfortunately Colin Forth got caught up in that as well. And DB901 took his first win of the season.
Hi. What do you think about this this circuit that has been drawn for the penultimate round of the series?
It's an interesting one. It's a lot of the drivers I've been speaking to have said it's very hard on tyres. It's going to be a real challenge for them in the race today to manage their tyres and keep them alive to the end.
Yeah, today we're probably going to have to keep looking at the colour of tyre wall that people are driving. See who's on the softs, who's risking it on the softs, who's playing safe on the mediums, and who's playing even safer on the hards. Oh, R-Factor 2 is having a bit of an unhappy there. So you do have the colours of tyre compound to hand, don't you? Would you like to run us through them?
Yes, I do. So the green tyres are the soft, the yellow wall tyres are the medium, the white wall tyres are the hard, and the purple wall tyres, which we believe are only on the Subaru, we believe are also the hard.
Yeah, not sure why the Subaru has purple tyres. Maybe it's just due to the fact it's a rear-wheel drive, or maybe it's even just the mod being a bit unhappy. I'm not 100% sure. The joys of modding, isn't it?
Yes, true. Yes, it could just be a rear-wheel drive tyre for some reason. Not quite sure why.
It could be. The Subaru being the only rear-wheel drive car on the grid this season, I believe.
Yes, that's right. All the others are front-wheel drive. Yeah.
Which has been interesting to see how the Subaru does actually, stack up against everybody else.
Yes, it's interesting because generally this season we've been seeing the Subaru get stronger in the latter half of the race, and we're probably going to see that even more today to a greater extent. Because the Subaru, because it's rear-wheel drive, it can keep its tyres in much better condition, especially towards the end of the race. So expect the Subarus to come in strong towards the end today.
On that subject, last race at Magny Cours, it was, a dual podium finish for two Subaru drivers, SRGP and Trev Rich respectively, which the Subarus seem to come into their own around that track, even though we got told by Trev Rich himself that the Subaru got quite heavily hit with balance of performance.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we saw SRGP and Trevor, as you say, come through towards the end, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they can do the same today. I mean, I believe both gained around 5 positions off their qualifying start.
SRGP gained 7 and Trev gained 3.
Oh, right.
Race,
oh, wow.
Which was, as you said in the intro, DB911's first win as well.
Yes.
He's on the grid here today.
Yeah, it's been great for him. First win of the season. It'll be interesting to see if he can do it today. So far in the practice times, he has looked a bit off the pace. It's Colin Forth and Pinkwin who've set the best time so far. So it'll be interesting to see if DB99 can make that step up as practice goes on and see if he can take another win today.
Yeah, because he is in the championship fight for the win, isn't he, this season?
Yes, he is. He's just 3 points behind Frothy at the top, and Treverick is 6 points behind Frothy as well. So those three are the main challengers for the title at the moment.
Yes, but we don't want to really remove the fact that SRGP and Apiwi could, in theory, come through and take the title as well. While it would be a bit more difficult, I believe, for them, it's still possible.
It is still possible. I mean, certainly Apiwi, Simracing-Gp, and even PXE and perhaps even Pinkwin technically still have a chance. They're all at least 11 points behind Frothy. And remember, in this series, points are awarded, you get 30 points a win, and it goes down in 1 point increments. So those drivers would have to gain at least 5 positions on Treverick, DB911, and Frothy in these last 2 races to have a chance of taking a title. So it's not out of the question, but it's quite a big ask.
No, it's not out of the question, especially since, if we remember back to last race, wasn't really a good race for Frothy or Pinkwin, was it? Both of them having issues of their own, which put them right down the field.
Yeah, Pinkwin unfortunately had technical issues with his pedals. We spoke to him after the race. And yeah, it's just really unfortunate because it's now quite a big ask for him to challenge for the title. And Frothy unfortunately got caught up in Pinkwin's problems as well. So yeah, Frothy thankfully used that round as a drop score. So his championship lead, I believe, has only gone down by about 1 or 2 points or so. But unfortunately, Pinkwin, he'd already used his drop score, so those points count for him. So he's now 17 points behind Frothy in the standings.
Yes, as we've also just been asked in the chat, the circuit is the Tor Poznan circuit in Poland that we're racing around today on the penultimate round. It's not really a very well-known circuit. It's certainly one I've never heard of. I'm not sure about you.
I have driven around here, but it's been many years. It's not a particularly well-known circuit, as you say. I think it is quite a good fun one, though. It's got quite a few high-speed corners, especially Last Right and Big Pan, which are turn 1 and the last turn here. A real high-speed challenge and a nice corner to drive. And it's generally quite a high-speed circuit, and there's no runoff here. So to contrast that to Manicore last time, where some drivers lost the bonus point for going over track limits too much, here that shouldn't be a problem today.
No, the curbs seem very very forgiving around here. Not having driven laps of it myself, but watching the practice session today, and then also the test races that we ran before this today, the curbs seem very gentle on the car, but still maybe aggressive enough that if you take too many liberties with them, you can land yourself in trouble.
Yes, you can use the curves quite a lot around here, in contrast to Manicore last time out, where you really couldn't ride the curbs very much at all. So yeah, I think the drivers can pretty much use the curbs to a full extent today.
Yes, with tyre wear as well. I'm not sure how much riding curbs affects tyres, but I think today that's going to be something that drivers are going to have to manage very closely to keep the tyres working, but to also keep them competitive towards the latter half of the race.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a few different strategies by our drivers today. I mean, I think some drivers will probably go out quite slowly and take it quite easy first few laps, and then they'll have stronger tyres towards the end. And perhaps some drivers will go out quite hard and use up their tyres and defend towards the end. So it should make for an interesting strategy in the race.
Yes, one thing that I will just say as an update, Colin Forth has now put in the best time of this practice session, having
46.
put in a 1:35.6. But it seems that fastest sector 1 before that lap had been swapping around from quite a few drivers. Bruno Gill, who we're watching here, took it for a little bit. Then everyone else I've been watching during this practice session have also been taking it at certain points themselves. Could it be drivers are still trying to find the line through sector 1?
Through the first turn, you mean?
Just through the first sector. I'm not sure if it's...
Oh, for first sector.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite a hard corner because it's you really want to get the car nicely turned into there, and to get on the power as early as possible. And it's very easy to run wide on the exit through there because it's such a high speed corner, and the nature of the turn tries to push you out wide.
That's
That's a big crash moment.
That's an interesting way to enter the pit there, Bruno, mate. Let's just switch to Appy Dwarf so we don't have to watch that horrendous scene, as I'm sure the virtual emergency services will be rushing to that car. Well,
Yes.
Appy, you had one job. Don't embarrass yourself on camera, and what did you do?
Have I missed that?
He dipped it in sideways into the first corner. It's beautiful.
Oh. Yeah. But yes, another interesting point today is Team Schmocken, or Smoken, sorry, can wrap up the Teams Championship.
Yeah, the battle for the Driver Championship looks like it will be going on to the last race, but Teams Championship looks quite well and truly wrap up able by Team Schmocken today. Yes,
they're currently leading Racing Club by 69 points, and the maximum a team can get in a round is 63. So if Team Smokin outscore Racing Club today, they will take the team's title.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be something that Trev Rich and everyone else who's actually involved in Smokin now, including Colin Forth, that being one of the big bits of transfer news this season. I'm sure they'll all be pretty happy with walking away with the Teams Championship one race before the end of the season.
Yes, I think they will be. I mean, yes, it will be great for them to do it. I mean, to do it one race before a season is really good, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can take it today.
Yeah, as now we actually do watch Colin Forth. I think we're going to ride a few laps along with him just to see how he takes his lines around here. He is currently on the soft compound of tyre, that is the green, I think is what I can see. Yep, I'm not colourblind or insane, that is the green tyre. Let's see how our championship leader starts to take his laps and see if he can actually maybe beat his time that he gained in practice.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see if he can. His best time in practice so far is a 35.27, and he's currently 4 tenths off that. So perhaps so far he either hasn't quite got the lap together, or maybe he hasn't gone for a full qualifying run yet.
Yeah, definitely one of the drivers to watch in this race, along with DB911, Trev Rich. Also, it'd be Pinkwin for me is going to be a driver to watch as well, having been very competitive when he moved up to Division B, but then obviously having that issue himself in the last race. He's still competitive in this division. I think he was just struck by bad luck last race, as was Colin Forth. As he does go fastest in the first sector by a tiny margin.
Oh yeah, it was unfortunate for Colin Forth and Pinkwin, sorry. Yes, sorry. my mind just went out. Pinkwin and Colin Forth, because in the early stages of the last race, it looked pretty close between them and DB911. And potentially, if a race gone on, it would have been interesting to see how both of those would have perhaps challenged DB911 for a win. But unfortunately, he had his technical problems, and it took them both out. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
Just as you were saying that, Pinkwin goes fastest in this current qualifying session with a 135 point, either 135 high 8 or low 9.
It's a mid 9.
Mid 9, there we go. Colin Forth as well, only taking off small margins of his current time this lap, 0.023 and 0.045 in the first 2 sectors respectively, then 0.112 slower in the third sector. Maybe he's playing with his setup and it's benefiting in the first sectors, but maybe not in the second. Here is Ricky
Yeah,
Risotto, also on the purple wool tyres. I'm not sure what they are. Seems the Astra get them as well. There's also a few names here I haven't seen or haven't seen much of this series. Bruno Gil, Uko, Aris Romalho, also Racing Man 81, who's appeared. Maybe some drivers who sort of started the first 2 races of the season, then came back, or just maybe ones I haven't noticed before. But there's a few names here that I personally don't remember commentating or seeing much of in this season. Be interesting to see how they do stack up. Obviously, if they have taken a break from the season, it would be interesting to see how they race against everyone else when they come back. Also, just looking at the times, it seems like the Subaru Levorg at the minute is going to struggle around here. Both drivers who ended up on the podium in such car last race, Trev Rich and SRGP, 1.48 off the pace and 2.203 off the pace as well. As Ricky Risotto goes fastest by 0.163 in the second sector. That was a push and a half from him.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You saying there about the Subarus being seeming quite uncompetitive today. We expect them though to come on stronger later in the race. So it'll be interesting to see if they can manage that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look what our highest placed Subaru actually is, and I think it might be. Oh, is Ricky Risotto going to go faster? No, he's not. I think our first Subaru. Now actually trying to find what one our first Subaru actually is. It is Trev Rich as our first Subaru, as we watch him
down
here.
in 9th.
0.5 and 1.7. It doesn't...
Oof.
I'm not sure. The car does come into its own later on in the race, but I'm not sure if it's going to have the margin it needs to really come back.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? Because we expected this to be one of their stronger tracks, and they're certainly not showing it so far.
Exactly, and I don't think it's even a case of, as we say in the engineering world, of picnic, problem in chair, not in car. Because both of these drivers in the 2 Subarus that we focus on, Rich and SRGP, they're not slow compared to the other drivers in the series whatsoever. They are competitive.
No, definitely not. I mean, last time out, SRGP and Trev Rich finished on a podium, so they're definitely quick drivers. But yeah, it's strange. For some reason today, the Subarus just don't seem to have a pace.
And really, for him, I'm not sure if Trev Rich's what's the word? Goal is a win in a championship, but he is still in contention for it as well.
Yeah, he is. He is just. Yes, he's just 6 points behind Frothy at the moment, so he's still very much in the championship hunt.
Which, obviously, as a driver, it's something that if you're in contention for the championship, I don't know any drivers myself who would happily sit back and take a second or third when if they put in the performances, they could walk away with the title. It's not something that you can really accept as a driver coming second, is it? You want to always fight for that win no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. You always try to maximize what you have and your speed and try and go for the win if you can.
Oh, I'm just going to interject
here with
a different subject. Ricky Risotto now only 0.014 off of common force practice time. He must be doing something with that car's setup or that line to just... He is putting in... Definitely he's putting in the times now. Someone that Imperium, I remember he was top, like mid-pack, but he wasn't fully up there. He seems to have really come into his own around these races happening now. Yeah,
it's great to see him up there, and yeah, he was third quickest in the practice times for this event before today. So yeah, he seems to really found something in the car for a circuit.
Which we've noticed that the Mercedes and the Astra seem to be very sort of close on pace. I think the Astra, sorry, is ahead in constructors. I'm sure that's maybe just because more people are using it. But if it goes off of the same as Team Championship, which we learned incorrectly, we thought it was the average of all your drivers. It's not. It's your top 2 drivers per race. Points added together. If it's that way, the Astra is only ahead by 13 points. With a higher number of wins, a higher top 3, a better average finish, more poles, but a lower average qualifying than the A45. Which, obviously our championship leader, Frothy, is driving the A45. Colin Forth as well, having put in a 1:45.463.
Oh, he's starting to show his pace now. That's just 2 tenths off his best in practice.
On another note as well, DB911 only in P4, 0.709 behind Frothy. That's something that maybe for him going into qualifying might be a little bit touchy for him. But we've sort of seen that over the season he has... I mean, he qualified well last race. It seems that his qualifying and his race performances are on par. So maybe this might just not be a track for him. Maybe if he qualifies lower, he'll find something in the car or the setup and come for a win. Because he is arguably one of the forefront in this championship fight, isn't he?
Is that DB911, sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Always Trevor Rich just fucking side swipes whatever car that was coming out of the pits.
Ooh. Ooh. But yeah, going back to DB911, yeah, he's definitely one of the fastest drivers in this series, and yeah, he just doesn't quite seem to have a pace of Frothy today, who's his main championship rival. So be interesting to see. Perhaps he's, as you touched on, perhaps he's focusing his setup more towards a race and trying to keep his make his tyres last throughout a race stint rather than a qualifying. So it'd be interesting to see how he does on that.
A lot of these races that we've at least seen so far has been more based on the driver's skill in the car over actually having to make the tyres or the setup work, which this track seems to... Because as you can see, as people go round the first corner, Big Pan I think it's called, the front left just sort of sets on fire, and that can't be doing good for your tyre wear.
No, not at all. I mean, turn 1 here, Big Pan, and the last corner, which is last right, are really the 2 main points which overheat the tyres around here, and the drivers are really going to need to watch it for those 2 corners in the race.
Especially when people might be running too wide through Big Pan and maybe even last right. Honestly going to be very exciting and very interesting for us as commentators to see just what strategies people bring, to see if people are able to make the softs last the race, or see if people are able to get soft-like performance on the mediums towards the mid. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for those on the softs, we believe they're probably going to have to take it fairly easy to start with, and then they'll come on stronger later on. Whereas a hard tyres, they'll probably be able to go pretty hard throughout our entire race. So it's going to be a very interesting race strategy-wise, this one.
Also in the chat, Virus GR has just said hello. So, hello Virus, how are you doing?
Hello Virus.
He's obviously quite active in the SRGP chats. Isn't he one of the livery wizards? I'll never understand how they manage it.
Yes, he is. Yes, he drives for Backmarker Racing. I don't think he races in this series, but he races another series, SRGP.
It's always good when people from SRGP come into the stream chat or even just watch the stream, because if it wasn't for the support of the community and SRGP himself, we wouldn't be here today talking about, the drivers driving these cars around the track and who's in championship contention for who.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a great community to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, there's always an exciting series running here at SRGP, and this is one of the best ones, I believe. I mean, these cars are really built for good close racing, and it's great to watch them.
On that subject of close, Penguin only 0.03 off of
Oof.
Colin Forth's Sector 1 time.
Ooh.
That
This is going to get interesting.
is close.
Yeah. Wow.
I honestly think if Penguin didn't have that issue with his squash ball last race, he would have come on very strong.
Yeah, definitely. It really would have been interesting to see where he ended up had he not had that problem at Manicourt.
Yes, because he did try to get his roommate to help. 0.031 faster through Sector 2.
Yeah, 2 tenths quicker than
but then goes
Profi's
off track.
Oh no. Oh, that's a shame.
He could put in a pole time here if he can link his eclectic time together, which is sadly something that, while I'd love to have that data, I think there gets a point for us where we have too much data. I remember I was doing some testing of a friend's setup, because he was racing in something, I can't remember what, as Penguin 135.7, that going off track didn't really help him there. Oh, there's Ricky Risotto deciding to Tokyo drift.
So for qualifying at the moment, it looks like it's between Colin Forth, Risotto and Penguin, all within 2.5 tenths of each other.
But then, this series has surprised us before.
Very true, yeah. And you can't rule out DB911 either. He has looked a bit off the pace through practice and in this session as well, so it'll be interesting to see if he can find some more speed for qualifying.
This track is going to be very much a test of A, the driver's tyre conservation skill, and B, also just the car's conservation skill as well, because the different cars, even though while the majority are front-wheel drive, with the exception of the Subaru, they do wear tyres a bit differently. The MG, which I don't think we have any of here today, which would have been interesting to see how that goes. That isn't as nice on the tyre wear, I don't think. It'd be interesting to see how the Subaru handle the tyres as well, as they're the only rear-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, it will be. From what I've heard, they will have serious. As Ricky Risotto goes wide.
No, it's the server changing session, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we believe the Subarus will still have pretty bad tyre wear, like a front-wheel drive, but we don't think it'll be quite as bad, and they should come on stronger towards the end of the race.
Here we are then, in quali.
Here we go.
All the drivers starting to appear from the pits as the scary forward-facing sprites stare us down.
Yes, I was speaking to some drivers before a race, and I think most of them will probably only go for 1 hot lap runs today because the tyre wear on this track is so high. It's just not worth trying to go for 2 hot laps in a row.
You can see down there a lot of cars leaving the pits already. Oh, I found a camera angle that removes the forward-facing sprites. Oh, I'm so happy. The Chevrolet Pace car also there as well. Thankfully, we don't see it in this series. I don't think we've had a crash that would even be big enough for a safety car period, to be honest. Oops, someone there touching the... very interesting. He had all that room between him and the barrier, yet he still hit it. Oh,
I missed that.
Best part is, because of the delay on stream being about 30 seconds, I can now just sit here and re-watch it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, someone else coming out onto the track. Yep, avoids that pit wall there. Well done. Proud of you.
So Colin Forth is first in the queue at the moment, so we're going to see his times first of all.
Yep, let's just see if we can jump through to him, because I haven't turned RF2 TV on. He is out in front, which means he does have clean air. But he doesn't get the draft down the straight, which there's 1 or 2 places here, especially the last straight, where you can do with it. Also the run up to last right as well. That could be very, very useful on draft.
I think with draft it's hard to get it to work because you don't get a massive draft in these cars anyway. It's probably worth maybe a tenth or 2 perhaps, but the problem is you have to judge a distance pretty much perfectly to a car which is in front of you. So it's very hard to get it to work.
So here we go. Colin Forth's first time. I'm having A bad day up here. Getting my Team Smoking drivers moved up. Mixed up. Oh, English is escaping me. Oh, as we get some of the really nice camera angles around this track. Colin putting in a 20.941 first sector. Not sure how that sums up to the rest.
That's very fast.
Oh, is
very
it?
good first sector from Colin fourth.
Has he stripped everything he can out of the car? Fuel, soft tyres, basically running as flat as you can get them, just to put in the fast lap.
DB911 also second fastest first sector so far, 2 tenths off Colin fourth. It's at least 2 tenths quicker than everybody else.
Looks like as well we're going to have a 17 car grid. I'm sure I saw 18 earlier, so someone else might jump in. There's also a name that I think we're missing, but I can't quite pick out of my head who. Oh, Colin Forth getting the back out a lot there, off track. A lot of people seem to be making that mistake around that corner there. Seems if you set the car up wrong, you'll just miss the apex, slide the back out, and hit off the track.
Yeah, you really want a car with a good turning round here. Ooh, that's a bit sideways through air, Colin. As he comes up to the line.
Don't know if it's going to be 136.2. So no, not a very good lap. As Pinkwin goes faster with 136.06. What about the next cars coming through?
Yeah, he lost around a second on that last sector, Colin Forth.
DB911 might be coming through soon. We'll keep a watch out for that grey Astra as the smoking drivers come through as well. Hudson going P7. More drivers crossing the line maybe for their outlap, or Javier Benito going P6 at this current minute, 1.8 off the pace. However, we're just trying to look out for that grey Astra. It is on track. We're just trying to find it. Here comes another Astra. Not sure who this driver's Astra is. As they come across the line. Bruno Gill going P2.
Wow.
Only 0.069. Krorsuk as well. Only 0.3 off the pace.
Wow, it's a great lap from those two.
Names I haven't really seen very much. I think this is SRGP coming through now in the red Subaru Lavore. Where does that put him? P7. Here comes another Team Smoking driver. Someone in an Astra getting very loose. Not sure who that was. We're still looking out for that grey Astra. I'm not sure where it is, but it should have come round by now.
Pinkwin hasn't set times for a first and second sector, so I'm not quite sure.
I see Pinkwin here. He went back into the pits. It seems they're running one lap, and then as again, Team Smoking drivers come through. Trev Rich P8. Here comes Colin Forth. Can he improve? Not this time. It might have been his outlap though. DB911 down in P12.
Ooh.
When did he come through? I didn't notice him.
Well, that's surprising because he was one of the fastest drivers through a first sector earlier, so he must have had a bad lap there.
Yeah, not sure. As we're again watching Colin Forth, fastest through the first sector by only 1.7.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
0.14.
3 tenths down on his first lap there.
Yeah, he's... Oh, is that Trev Rich or Hudson there getting spun off of that Astra in qualifying? Very interesting time to have a collision with an Astra, I'll be honest. Ooh. Keep in mind, Pinkwin is still technically in championship contention, so Colin is going to want to start ahead of him if he can.
Yes, exactly, yeah. But his main championship rival, DB91, down in 12th.
As he's down 0.067, gets the back very loose, again goes off track. That's what cost him the time last lap. Was getting the back out through that corner and then going onto the grass. Well, it's...
So he comes in.
it's not something that I don't think you can keep doing it in the race, especially if you're running too wide, because he does come back on very aggressively. He's also on the yellow wall of tyre, which is medium, is it not?
Yes, it is. That's very interesting.
As he comes through, doesn't improve, only a 136.5. Here's this man, Bruno Gil, 0.309 fastest through the first section.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, I don't know who this man is. I haven't seen him much or at all during the season, but he's really burst onto the scene.
Yeah, he's just... Yeah, it's a great first sector. That's the second fastest first sector so far.
Also, R-Factor 2 seems to be having a lot of issues with being very unhappy at certain points. There's someone as well, a name I'm not used to, Slack comes in. 0.108 slow through Sector 2 for Bruno Gale. It's not bad, he could still beat Pinkwin's time. This would really throw a spanner in the works for some of the drivers if he does come through for P1.
Yeah, he's 2 temps up on Pinkwin at the moment. Can he keep that advantage?
He can, putting in the first 135 of the session. 135.8.
Great lap from Bruno Guerrero.
I don't know who he is. I haven't seen him during the season, but he's really put in the work for this race, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's just come out undelivered. It's
Also, a bit of IRL news, just because I've realised I just got poked in the side by something, and I've realised the screw that holds one of the bottom bits of my chair arm has now come out of the chair.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Damn.
I really hope tonight we don't hear a snap and me go absolutely flying. The other arm is on pretty solidly. I just...
hopefully it stays alright for you.
Oh, imagine if it happens in the middle of a battle. You're like, oh, is it going to snap?
No. As DB911 goes up to 5th. But still 8 temps down on Bruno Gill's time. And he's 4 temps down on Colin 4th.
Bruno Gill has he has a bit of a problem there. Gets the rear tyre. Yeah, he wasn't putting in a fast lap. Here's Pinkwin. 0.38 slower through the first section. Still a PB, but 0.244 up through Sector 2.
Yeah, fastest of anybody in Sector 2.
Where... I'm unsure of where Pinkwin's from, but part of me thinks he is Polish, but I'm not sure. I wonder if it'd show up on his driver profile. If he is, that'd be quite funny. Is he? What time's
Pinkwin gonna do? Oh, fastest! Pinkwin goes fastest now by 3 temps.
I'm not sure. We will have
what a lap from Pinkwin.
We'll have to ask him at some point just to see if he does have the home team advantage.
Perhaps I don't know of him. But yeah, that was a great lap from Pinkwin.
Is Lucas Krosuk? I'm not sure. Sorry, I struggle with my own language, let alone others. It was great because recently, as you know, and also as maybe some people from SRGP will know, I commentated SRM's GT3 Championship Decider, and that was a case of this person can barely speak his own language. Let's give him names from all around the globe. It was a great time, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great stream, man.
Oh yeah, it was very different to hear, but I'm glad to be back commentating this series as well, because it does bring entertaining racing.
Yeah, it does. As Mazak goes P5 and pushes DB911 down to 6th.
Wow. I don't think DB911 is having a good day.
No, as we were talking about it earlier, in practice he has just looked off for pace, and that's been the case in qualifying today. Be interesting if he can come back in the race though.
As Risotto goes into P5, pushing both drivers down. Someone that was looking strong in practice, but not really looking very strong in the race in quali so far. It was P2. He was in the one. He was in the low one. He was in the high 135s, wasn't he, in practice?
Who was that? Sorry.
Ricky Rosado.
Yes, I believe it was.
And it just seems that he hasn't managed to keep it as
Yes,
Krosuk
he was,
goes
but...
P3 and pushes Colin fourth down.
Wow, yeah.
Again, so Pinkwin might, if he doesn't have an issue with the unruly squash ball, he might come out with a victory here.
Yes, he's looking really strong qualifier at the moment.
I mean, it's obviously too early to guess, but from the looks of it, he is very strong and very much capable of going for the win if his tyres will work. As we look at Colin Forth, who really only had a tiny margin in Sector 1, 0.009.
Ooh, yeah. But also shouting out Trev Rick, who's third in the series, down in 11th at the moment, and SRGP in 10th. So the Subarus, as it looked like in practice, just don't seem to have a pace around the circuit.
There is one other Subaru somewhere that I'm not sure. I think...
I believe it's David Hudson, actually,
no,
also in 14th.
There's one other one. It's a blue one.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's driving it. Yeah, if we just have a quick scroll through the drivers, we will find out eventually. I'm now just pressing the arrow. So SRGP in one, Trev Rick in another, Camille Curis in P12.
Oh, okay.
Camille...
Yes, I believe he's one of our new drivers, isn't it? As DB901 goes up to third. Half a second down on Pinkwin.
He's clearly getting better. Oh, nice bit of Tokyo
Colin
drifting.
Forth responds. P3 for him.
Wow, it's this is gonna be very tasty up front, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Both our championship.
As Bruno Gill goes fastest in the first sector again.
Wow.
Where is...
Can he challenge Pinkwin's time? That's the question.
Bruno Gill in the standings, because I've not seen him. This will be apparently his first race.
Oh, okay.
I can't see him in the standings. I'm gonna see if he is on the entry list. Guessing he will be.
He should be if he's racing.
Yeah, Bruno Gill.
Yeah.
He's done 44 races, but this will be his first one, having only signed up for the series today.
Oh, wow.
As a driver, he's averagely started in 13th and averagely finished in 12th. And now look.
Wow, very impressive by Bruno Gill. I mean, it's just start practicing for a series today and qualifying P2 at the moment. Wow.
As we do now come up to the end of the qualifying session, let's see if Bruno Gill can...
Yes.
I don't think he will be able to challenge, as there's a crash in front. He's, 0.439 off the pace there. Is he going to challenge the time as he comes across the line? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find a camera that shows us the start-finish line. Will it be like Magny Core? It takes me all the way to the end of qualifying to find it. That'll do.
So the only driver who seems to be improving at the moment is Uko in 8th. What time can he set? 1.2 off a pace at the moment.
As it looks like we are going... It looks like this might be how the grid stacks up. We've got a few drivers who are still out on track. Uko and Javier Benito. We'll see as they both come across the line now, I believe. I don't think either of which improved.
Uko did, but he stays 8th. Just 0.03 of a second off Mazak in 7th.
Okay, so if we set the starting order now, we will go through that in a moment. We normally do it at the start of qualifying. Sorry, not at the start of qualifying, start of warm-up. Words. So, the grid, especially up front, is looking very tasty. Once the server goes into warm-up session, it normally takes a second for it to get through to me. Oh, there we go. We can see the sky change and the camera snaps its neck as we look down. So, our starting order, as I just can get good. That's a beautiful camera angle there. Well done, me. So,
that's a nice one.
It is, isn't it? I'm not just a pretty face. So, our starting order, as it happens, is Pinkwin in P1, followed by Bruno Gill, Colin Forth, and DB911. On the second second set of rows, is Lukas Krozak in 5th, Ricky Rizzotto 6th, Gregory Malzak follows, and Uko follows after him in P8. Down in P9 is Appledworth, SRGP follows in 10th, Trevor Rick in P11, and Camille Curis in P12. 3 of our 4 Subarus there on that set of rows. Javier Benito in 13th, David Hudson in P14, our last Subaru, PXE in 15th, and Helio Romalio in 16th place. With Marek Cieslak in 17th and Raceman 81 in 20th and rounding off the grid. Not sure who these last 2 drivers are. I haven't personally seen them so far. This series, sorry. They could be new today or they could have just taken a break. For people who are wondering, I'll just show this screen again because I'm nice. This is TRL Next Gen Touring Car Division B around the Poznan circuit in Poland. The air and track temps are locked to 21 and the weather, is going to be quite nice. This is round 6 of 7. Race will be 31 minutes with the special rolling start. I think at the end of Big Pan they're let off, or is it after that?
It's
sure.
After Big Pan. It's turn 3, which is Devil's Smile. It starts up today.
Oh, turn 3. So for people who are unaware of how this series does work, all drivers will resume off the line. It's not green flag go. They go off the line at the pit speed down towards Devil Slow, in which once they cross the apex of the corner, I believe, they are then free to start their own race. One thing for people to be aware of, it is somewhat common for drivers to gain or lose a position during this. It just happens with how people get off the line. Most drivers will give it back, but sometimes some people just don't notice.
Yes, it's going to be a very interesting race, isn't it? Because we've got Pinkwin on pole, Bruno Gill with a great effort to go P2, and then Colin Forth in 3rd, and DB911 to 2 of the championship challenges in 3rd and 4th.
Yes, it's that front set of rows is looking very spicy at this minute in time. Sadly for Trevor Rick, he's down in P11, so he's going to have to work that Subaru quite hard to keep in the championship fight today, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope the drivers in front of him run into tyre problems later in the race, and he can keep his alive, which is quite possible could happen, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, obviously if we look back to last race, both Pinkwin and Colin Forth had issues of their own. I think Colin Forth came back to finish
Ninth.
Oh, 9, there we go. From, quite a high up position, which arguably not great for him in the championship fight. Thankfully taking it as his drop round, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we haven't actually talked too much about it, but it was a very good comeback drive from Colin Forth, because I believe he went down to 14th after Pinkwin hit him due to his technical problem with his pedals. But no, he gained 5 positions and he came back well from it.
Yeah, thankfully Poznan not having the chicane of doom, as we dubbed it, at the last one, where we just saw so many people meeting that outside wall, didn't we? This track thankfully has quite a lot of grass between you and Steel Armco Pain.
Yeah, at Manicora, the curbs are really high, and the drivers have to be really careful not to use too much of them, because otherwise it could launch the car up. Whereas here the curbs are generally mostly flat, so there's no chance of that happening today.
Yeah, there's some curbs. I've especially seen before the straight run to the bridge that Pinkwin's going through now. Some drivers have been experimenting with dipping the inside tyre down. Colin Forth, only last lap, dipped it down, and I could see at least that the side of the car started to rise. I think if you do it too aggressively, you could actually go barrel rolling.
Yes, perhaps, because that is a high-speed corner, isn't it? So if you get too much angle and launch your kart too high, it is quite possible it could happen.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a case of we have to guess. we now prepare to end. See, this is the camera I could have done with a minute ago. You see, this is what we have to put up with our factor. But it's a good camera to show everyone lining up on the grid.
Yes.
Oh, Simracing PL, the people that make this track.
Mm-hmm.
Hear them. Actually, come back now to the bit we're interested in the grid. As we see, drivers now magically appearing on the grid. I quite like it because in the back of my mind, all I imagine is just a sound as they come onto the grid. It's like a pop as they just appear. Or as a army of Team Smoking cars appear on the grid there. So 31 minutes. Not always plus a lap, but sometimes plus 1 lap. I think it happened at Buriam.
It depends when the leader starts the final lap. As to when the time runs out.
We're being asked for the Skybet ratings of today's race. What do you think they are, and how do you think they're going to?
Skybet ratings. What? The odds to which driver's going to win? You mean?
Yeah. We go. We don't have time for that as we are about to get underway. Not fully underway, I have to admit, because obviously we have to line up at grid. So yeah, Skybet Racings. How do you think they're gonna sum up?
I would say Pinkwin is probably favourite because he's starting on pole and his pole lap was very strong. So if he can maintain that pace advantage, I would say he's probably favourite. Then Bruno Grill perhaps could challenge for the lead as well. I mean, he's shown great pace just coming into race today. And also watch out for Colin Forth and DB901. I'd probably say third favourites at the moment because they're starting positions, but we know that they're two of the top drivers in this series and they got great pace. So
here we go. As the drivers enter the corner, they're going to be released now. There's somebody Astra's behind, I think, actually got a very good getaway. That looks to be...
Well, Pinkwin's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah, it looks to be Krorsuk and Risotto having got very good getaways there. You can see him actually battling behind now.
Wow.
And they are actually starting to bite on the heels of Colin Forth. As Krorsuk is very much doing a BMW line behind Risotto. Very much so, goes very wide. Someone goes off. I don't know who that, 2 people. Colin Forth has gone off as well.
Oh no! Oh no! The championship leader.
Once again, an early error from him. That's not something.
He's gone down to 6th.
Yeah, that's not something he wanted. Ricky Risotto having gone off as well. Not again. He must be thinking to himself, again, not this again. As Gill is on the back of Pinkwin.
And DB901's gone up to 3rd. It's a disaster for Colin Forth.
Here is Gill looking around. Pinkwin goes off the track. That gives Gill the lead. But Pinkwin is definitely going to battle back against it. Oh, already dramas and DB911. Oh, Penguin goes for a very, very late dive down the inside.
Can he get the under? Can Gill get the undercut? He tries.
Gill's looking again. He's going to have the inside line around the corner. Is he going to hold it? Yes, gets past Pinkwin. But remember, the more they battle, the slower they will go.
Yes, and DB911 is watching all this behind.
Yeah, already cut that gap down by half a second.
Yeah, and Colin Forth has gone down another position. He's down in 7th.
Oh, has he got damage? I couldn't see if he collected the wall or not. He might have.
Oh, no.
No, Colin, that's something he doesn't want. He's fighting for the championship, but you can't fight for a championship if you're going to crash.
Yeah,
Just the way it is, he's 6 seconds off of Bruno Gill at the minute.
yeah. If a race ended now, DB911 would be winning by 1 point in the standings, heading into Patras for a final round. Oh, and he goes down to 8th. He's been overtaken by SRGP.
I think he has got damage. Penguin also making a slight mistake through the last right. Wow, that's... No. Oh, DB911. Krosuk is having a look at him. Here, as the game decides. Yep, DB911 gets passed by Krosuk into the first corner. Big pan. Quite a nice cut and dry move there.
Yeah, nice move there from Krusat.
But is he going to fight back?
Or can he come back?
Oh, he looked for
He was thinking about it.
I don't think he was 100% on it. Colin Forth has made up that position on SRGP. Wow, that was a start for everyone.
Yes, that was a really dramatic start. I mean, Colin Forth, we're not quite sure what happened to him, but again, he just dropping down the order in the early laps.
It's not
disaster
like he's
for
going
him.
on. Like at the start of the season, the first 1 or 2 races, you can afford mistakes like that, but not now.
Yeah, it's getting into crunch time now, isn't it? Just Patras, which is a final round after this.
Which people
And then we decide our champion.
People should remember as well. Appledworth, also quite a strong driver down in P16.
Yeah. Bad start for Appy.
One thing people need to remember is that Patras, if you finish, there is an extra 2 bonus points on offer.
Yes, that's a very good point, actually.
Which, as we've seen so far with the standings, 2 points could even clinch it. Here is Camille Curis, one of our other Subarus. It's very Subaru for these groups, this train of cars, I think, with a random Astra at the back, wanting to come in as Penguin sets the fastest time of the race.
Yeah, it's a trio of Subarus in a row. Treverick has gone up to 9th.
Always someone that improves on his qualifying, though, isn't he, Treverick?
Yeah, he always tends to gain a lot more positions in the racing qualifying. On average, he's gained 5 positions in the race this season. So expect him to charge up the order as the race goes on.
Here we go. Javier Benito gonna look around the outside here. Oh,
wow.
As Curis has a bit of a warp, which leaves a position open for Curis to actually go through. Here's PXC, one of our other promotees, also in the top 8 in Championship, I believe.
Yes, he is. He is. He's 6th, actually.
And he's down in 15th at the minute.
15 points behind Frothy.
I'm not sure if the last 3 drivers, Cslack, Ramalho and Raceman, have had issues, being 35, 50 and 64 seconds down, respectively.
Yes, I think they must have to be out far behind already in these early stages.
All 3 are names that I don't recognise myself in this series, so maybe they're new. Bruno Gill being new, having still retained the lead on Penguin.
Yeah, the gap though down to 3 tenths now, so Penguin's coming back at him.
Yes, I wonder if we could focus on there. Yeah, here we go. Here they are. Let's see, with Cruiser behind DB911 dropping down to P5 behind Ricky Risotto.
Yes, and Colin Forth still in 7th.
What could this mean for Penguin? I wonder.
So yes, Penguin could well be back in the championship hunt if he can finish where he is.
We theorised that Penguin could technically win the championship if he put in the performances, and I think for him, this is probably one of the best case scenarios. Yes,
it is. The 2 main championship leaders down in 5th and 7th. This is great news for Penguin and Trev Ricker, of course, down in 9th, and Appy in 14th.
Bruno Gill looked very loose there, tripoding and losing the car a little bit, I think, due to understeer. That's opened Penguin up to a gap of just about 0.35. Looks like he gets a worse exit out of that right-hander as well. Here is a sector that makes or breaks drivers. You can see by the way he's driving, Penguin is hungry for that position.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, Bruno Gill goes off!
Gill goes wide.
That gives the lead
Pinquin's
out
in
to
the lead.
Pinquin.
Wow.
Oh no. Bruno Gill now also being opened up to Crosshook behind. Probably not a huge amount, but the threat will now be there.
Wow.
Oh, as we look at Gregory Mazak, sorry. The two identical cars. That's not a very usable camera. Oh, he did have a look, but nice defending there from DB911. Oh, that's on DB911. Oh, I just realised that.
I'm wondering if DB911 is already having tyre issues because his pace just doesn't seem to be up there over top four.
I'm not sure. I think they're both on mediums. Yeah, they're both on mediums. I can see the yellow wall on the tyres. Maybe it is just the fact that he's running out of pace. Colin Forth as well, starting to bite on the heels of Mazak, just over a second behind. As our social things come up. Remember, I have a Twitter. Do I post on it? No! Ooh, Mazak definitely touching the heels there.
Yeah, so out front, it'd be interesting if Gill can now make up that gap after that mistake he made. It's at 2.3 at the moment, but can he close that gap down in the remaining 20 minutes of this race?
Ooh, DB911 loses the back, gets on the grass. Here we go. Defends into the corner. Oh, holds on to the position just for now. Oh, these first few laps have already brought some amazing racing.
Yeah, it's been great
Always
to watch
looking
so
down
far.
the inside.
Ooh,
Is he going to get the
there.
escape onto the straight? Gets a little bit squeezed there by DB911. Here we go, running down the straight. Who got the better exit? Oh, Mazak gets the inside line. Yeah, pretty cut and dry overtake, I think. Yeah.
And look who's right behind him.
Yeah.
Colin Forth, after that bad start, is now almost up behind DB911. Oh, he is actually, pardon.
Yeah, he is behind
right
DB911. Here he is. Here's his onboard of the Pixel Track sponsored Team Smoking car. Still arguably one of my favourite liveries that they have brought to this season.
Yes, it is a nice looking livery, that one.
That's how I rate drivers, based on livery. Could it be based on driver?
A number of, in fact, there are a number of nice looking liveries on the grid.
Yeah, it's something that we see a little bit with this league. Some people will obviously bring their own livery. Some people will just prefer to use, you know, the ones that are available by the mod. I'm not sure if he's in the chat. Virus GR2, obviously being a livery wizard, does a few liveries for SRGP himself. I don't think he's sporting one now.
What's that, sorry?
Virus, he does some liveries for SRGP himself, doesn't he? I'm sure I've seen some in the chat.
I don't think he does them for SRGP himself. He does them for Backmarker Racing, which is one of the teams that races here in Simracing-Gp.
Fair enough. Also, I don't wish to alarm you, but we've actually broken our concurrent viewer record for the commentary of this series. We were up for a brief time to 11.
Wow.
It's now very quickly dropped back down to 8.
Oh.
Also, is that SRGP gaining on the back of Colin Forth?
Yes, it is. We were talking about it in practice, weren't we? We thought that the Subarus might come on stronger as the race goes in, and that seems to be the case, actually.
Or is he going to have a look?
SRGP and
Not yet.
Trevor catching up to our two championship leaders.
Oh, it looks like DB911 got a bad exit. That's very good for for Colin Forth. Again, I'm getting my names mixed up. Also, Virus has confirmed that he does do some liveries for SRGP himself.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, livery. Oh, Colin Forth getting very touchy. Apparently, he doesn't know why SRGP isn't using them. I'm not sure. Did he make one for the Subaru? I'm not sure. I might have seen it. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, speaking of the Subaru, he is very much jumping now at the heels of Colin Forth. That Subaru just looks so stable through this last sector.
Yeah, with the rear-wheel drive, it gives it an advantage for those corners.
Oh dear! Look how much up the back SRGP is of the current championship leader, Colin Forth. Pinkwin, having taken the lead from Gill, we didn't notice that one as it went on, but yeah, Pinkwin is in the lead. Oh no, sorry, we did. Sorry, I'm being a bit stupid. Don't mind. Smoking Sandwich, and also Backmarker Racing is in the chat as well.
Ah.
Hello everyone in the chat, thank you for being active.
Also, one to watch is Krozak, who's gaining on Gill. He's only half a second behind him now.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. This angle here from the roof of SRGP's car, we could see that Colin Forth went for a move, but DB911, as we've seen, knows how to defend his position.
Yeah.
Raceman 81 as well.
Oh, big look up by Colin Forth there.
I'm not sure if he's going over a bump, because that's the second time he's done that now.
Yeah, you really don't want to look up in these cars because it hurts the tyres very badly.
Especially on a track like this,
especially around
something
here.
such as Burium, for example, where you could be a little bit more gentle. Magny Core, you could be a little bit more ruthless on your tyre. Here, you really can't, especially the front right. All gets a little bit of a drift on.
Yeah, so Krozak now just 3 tenths behind Gill for P2. And Mazak also right behind Ricky Risotto for P4.
Oh, as here we go. We actually do look at this.
Here we are.
I've seen that Krozak doesn't smoke the front right tyre around
No,
Big
that's
Pan.
going to be a... Yeah, if he can avoid it, that's going to be a big advantage for him. Oh, he's probably going to have a go here.
Oh, is he going to? Not as yet. Snowy in chat wanting Trevor Rich to do well because apparently he needs the prize money to bump up the team smoking salaries. Honestly, the jokes that the community come up with sometimes are amazing.
Yes, that's
Raceman 911
within the team match one as well.
Being spinning there. I'm not sure if he's going to carry on. He seems to have stopped. I think this has also been... I think he's new to the series, maybe the sim racing, so I'm not going to be too harsh, obviously. As C-Slack goes out as well. Raceman 81, having been lapped already.
Oh. Yeah, it could be he's new to sim racing, perhaps, so... it takes time to get up to this level and you need to really put in a lot of practice, especially with these cars, so...
Oh, as Krozak there, is he going to look to get the undercut? No, Gill defends it.
Ooh.
Also, I think they've started a unionised... wow, very early defending there from Gill.
Ooh. This is going to be tight into this high-speed turn 1
Oh, yeah, forces Krozak to go the long way around and drop back. That was some very nice defending. As Risotto goes up into P4, overtaking Gregory Malzak. Also, as I was saying earlier, we appear to have started a wage debate in the team smoking camp because apparently the checks are bouncing. Also, thank you to Atonian Go for giving me a Twitch Prime sub.
Also, I think something's happened to Appywee. He's dropped from 12th down to 15th.
Wow, he wasn't doing...
Must have made an error. Oh!
Ooh, very...
Who's that there getting very up inside of Gill?
I'm not sure if Gill had a bad entry, but he seemed to just lose all the speed. Wow, that's...
And meanwhile, whilst these two are battling, Pinkwin's pulling out away from them.
Yeah, which for both these drivers is not going to be something they're going to want to see.
No, especially Kruzak, because before Kruzak caught up to Gill, he was lapping quicker than Pinkwin.
Ooh. Here we go. Is Is Krozak going to be able to make the move into Big Pan this time? Interesting to see, because he is far enough behind to maybe make it up on the straight. Yep, Gil going defensive very early again. Here we go.
Ooh.
Drops behind. Is he going to try to get the undercut? He is, but Gil is there. Also, Ramolho also retiring from the race at this current minute in time.
Nice defending from Gil.
For sure, but keep in mind, behind, all that's going to mean is that Risotto and Mazak are going to be catching up. Colin Forth still in P7, not having been able to get past DB911.
Yes, DB911's full. Oh, he just has now, actually.
Oh. It seems that the minute that I say a thing, it happens.
Yes. Yes. DB911 seems to be forming a bit of a train behind him now. He's got 3 cars all in a line behind him.
Well, that's probably something that he's not going to want to have seen. If he came away with a... I think if he came away ahead of Colin Forth, he might have been in the lead maybe by a position or two. He finished with that much in hand. But,
yeah, it's been... It's been a disappointing race with DB911 because, of course, he got his first win of the season last time out, and he's down in 7th at the moment and doesn't seem to have great pace, sadly. So, yeah, Andy's behind his championship rival as well, Colin Forth. So, not a great race for him.
Not a great race. I'm sure for Pinkwin, this is going to be a very good race. As Gil gets very sideways, up he goes. Krozak, is he going to make the move stick? He has got the inside. Yes, he does for now. But Gil will fight back. We have seen that already. He does fight back when he loses a position. Is he going to look down the inside?
Ooh,
yes, he is.
Like coming from far back.
Oh, thinks better of it. I think that might have been a bit too late there for a move, Gil, but you at least had a look. Oh.
Yes, and SRGP has got past. Oh, and Trev Rick, as I'm speaking, past DB911 now as well. It's DB911, unfortunately, only going backwards for him this race so far.
We're in the last 10 minutes of the race. Apiwi passing Btcc, DB911 being passed by Javier Benito, but getting the position back. Now, this race has actually been that much full of action. I haven't needed to turn the auto control camera on yet. Which is always a good sign that a race has been very, very intense. Here we go. Yes. Bruno Gil looking on the back of Krozak. Half a second, 0.3 now. Is he gonna get the line? Oh, Krozak there trying to defend the inside. Is Gil gonna make the attempt? Also, apparently, according to Madbad, the tyres should start to be making an attempt now. Bruno Gil on the soft. That's insane.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite brave. Be interesting if he can, how he's going to be at the end.
We are into the last just under 9 minutes of the race.
I think at the front the question is, can Krusak catch Pinkwin? Because on that last lap he was 4/10 quicker.
Yeah, but here we are. Gil is on the back of him, very much so. Defending down the inside is Krusak. To the outside goes Gil. Is he going to try and get the undercut? Oh, with the way that corner flows, you can't really undercut there, but he made the attempt.
Yeah, I think both these drivers are catching Pinkwin.
Oh, they are, for sure.
Yeah.
At about 1.8 to about 2 seconds.
Also further down, we just have PXC past Apiwi for 14th.
DB911 down in P10.
Ooh, yeah.
Even if Colin Forth is in P6, his lead is going to be safe for now.
Yeah. Yeah, if things stay as they stand, Colin Forth will be leading by 7 points
But I think in the last
in the
race,
championship.
if things stay as they stand in the last race, Pinkwin is going to be definitely in that championship contention.
Yeah. He will be.
This last race could even come down to 3, maybe 4 drivers in contention for the win of the championship. Because Corsac is now only just under a second behind Pinkwin. Did Pinkwin make a mistake? He did. He hit the grass on the exit.
Oh no.
Oh dear, that is not something Pinkwin's going to have wanted, as Pinkwin has to defend the inside, goes very deep.
Oh no.
Through goes Corsac and Gill at the same time.
Wow.
Oh no, Pinkwin.
Oh no. Disaster for Pinkwin.
Having commanded the race, has now dropped down to P3.
Damn.
That would put him at 28 points. Sorry. Gill looking to try and get the car back again. Doesn't manage it this time. Tyres gone. Mad Bad thinks for Pinkwin.
Yeah, perhaps.
It looks
but
like
I would say one driver's tyres are really gone. I mean, we have been seeing it as DB911, that last lap at 141.7, whilst all the other drivers are in 39s, 38s.
Yeah, one of the standouts for this race already being Bruno Gill on the soft compounded tyre as there's almost contact. He's made it last so far. Probs as well as pulling for Hudson. David Hudson clearly having a fan here at today's race. In one of the backmarker racing drivers, isn't it, Probs?
Yes, it is. Krops is head of backmarker racing.
Oh, someone comes out of the pits. That's Romalho.
Colin Forth has Colin Forth made an error?
Gill goes wide. Colin Forth, yeah, looking to have made an error. Gill has spun out, it looks like. Yep, there is Gill.
Oh no.
Having spun out. No. Gill very much in a demanding position for that win. Not even due to the tyres by the look of it. He just actually sort of... like... What's the move here? Where's Colin Forth? Colin Forth down in P12!
I know, I saw him make an error earlier, but I didn't realise it went on the way to 12. I don't know what happened to him.
Oh no!
Perhaps he made an error.
Oh no, that puts him down
disaster
behind
for him.
DB911.
DB911. So this is all great news for Pinkwin.
They're together. P11 and P12.
Yeah.
Who are the front runners for championship contention? This could put Pinkwin in a very strong position to challenge for the title at Patras.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to make him 7 points behind Colin Forth.
Wow,
if things stay as they stand.
Please, here we have
So
a
that's very
three-car
achievable.
battle between PXE and Karras. Two Astras and a Subaru. I'm sure there's a joke there that someone will think of, but I'm pure and innocent enough to not think of it.
Also worth noting out is Simracing-Gp and Treverick, who've steadily been climbing the order throughout the race. Simracing-Gp up to P5 and Treverick in P7.
Going off. That
something goes off.
Up the position for Appledworth.
Ooh.
Now on to the back of Karras goes Appledworth. Very this race again, much like Magny Core, drama for Colin Forth. But I don't wish to put a curse on him now, but Pinkwin, no drama for him so far, running in P2. While not the lead, it's definitely a position that will put him in contention for the championship win at Patras in 2 weeks' time. That's definitely going to be a race that we'll want to watch with bated breath. Sadly, you're not going to be joining me for it, but I'm sure you'll be very much interested to see us happy to have twice to go around the outside. Okay, very unorthodox manoeuvre there. Paul tries to get the inside, but no, the Subaru cuts him off before he could get the foot in the door.
I think Bruno Gill's tyres have gone. His last lap are 144. 4 seconds slower than pretty much everybody else out on circuit.
Yeah, I saw his spin, but it wasn't due to tyres. He had hit the back wheel onto the grass around Big Pan when he was trying to attack. So maybe now the tyres have just gone. Not sure, but he's made him last for almost the entire race.
Yeah.
Whatever he's done to his setup, maybe with a few more tweaks that could have improved tyre life, he maybe could have kept him going as we enter the last 2.5 minutes of the race. As the standings currently are, it's Korczak in first, Pinkwin in second, Mazak in third, Gill follows in fourth, SRGP in fifth, Rich in sixth, Javier Benito seventh, Risotto eighth, Uko ninth, Hudson, as Mazak goes past Pinkwin as well for P2. That was something that I saw just as I was commentating there. Mazak P2, Pinkwin dropping down. Has he made a mistake? Because Trevor really locks up the tyre. There.
Yeah,
Wow.
Also, Colin Forth right on the back of DB911 now for 11th. Our two championship leaders. That's going to get interesting on the last couple of laps.
It really is. Let's see if we can take a look at him. Here, Colin Forth in 911. Oh, look at this! Right in the forefront, Rick locking up, Forth locking up there again. I'm not sure what's happened to his tyres. Here we go. He's dropped back a little bit. I think maybe just to watch as we've also broken our concurrent viewer record again at 14.
Yeah, and Simracing-Gp right on the back of Gill for 4th as well now.
Wow, those Subarus do come into their own in the ending portion of the race. Oh, Gill looks like his tyres have gone, having locked up, defends down the inside, almost clears out the front of SRGP.
He's lapping a good 6 seconds slower than everybody else.
No, here goes SRGP down the outside. He's going to be forced a long way around. Remember, you can sign up for the action and the fun at simracing-gp.net. Well worth coming and having a look. No matter your skill level, there will be a series for you. He's holding SRGP up quite heavily. Pinkwin down in P3. We can see him there, the Racing Dad car. Colin Forth still fighting DB911. As we now head into almost the end of the race.
So at the moment, Colin Forth will still be leading the standings. But he'll be by 2 points from DB911, and Pinkwin will be 9 points further back. So Pinkwin still has by his great performance today, he can still win a championship at Patras.
A chance.
In the final round.
It was looking quite slim. Oh, here we are, Colin Forth and DB911. Ooh. Right on the back of that car.
Can't really overtake going into here.
No, dropping back just a little bit. Oh, he's on the rear quarter. He's there. DB doesn't want to turn in. Has to cut the corner a little bit to avoid clearing him out. DB911 going wide. Oh, is he going to get the move done? He does get the move done as the race comes across the line. A win for Korczak. DB911 trying to fight back in the last minute there. And across the line they come. Now as we watch the rest of the drivers come, someone has a spin across the line. Bonk. Incoming! Oh, he goes through him. I thought that was going to be a post-race crash there. So, as we watch the cars come through the line, we are now going to jump into the SRGP channel. Let's see if anyone wants an interview or not. Oh, wait. In we jump.
Hello.
Just going to put in the chat that we are open for interviews if drivers want it. So, what a
Oh my
race.
word, that was dramatic. I thought Manicore wasn't dramatic, but that was
What's a race?
credit.
So,
Oh my.
here we are with the results. Lucas Krozak winning from Mazak, from Pinkwin, from Bruno Gill, then SRGP, Trev Rick, Javier Benito, Ricky Risotto, Uko, David Hudson, Colin Forth, DB911, PXE, Camille Curas, Appy Dwarf, Raceman81, Helio Romalio, and Marek Cieslak going through to round off the grid. What a race for the championship. Both the drivers who are in very close championship contention having had issues. Oh, and here he is, the man himself. Colin Forth has joined us in the chat. Hello, Colin.
Hello, Colin.
As we just maybe a bit too harsh. I'm not sure if he has a microphone, and if he does he want to talk to us, or just here to listen to us?
He's muted at the moment.
See if he has a microphone. No, yes.
Hello, Colin.
Maybe?
Do you want an interview, Colin? Okay, fair enough. But yeah, that was such a dramatic race.
Was a dramatic race.
Wow.
A driver that I haven't noticed before in the series coming through for the win. That's something.
Yeah, I mean,
that's something we don't see a lot.
No, very true. I mean, it's a great drive by Krusak. I mean, I remember watching his times in the middle of a race, and he was the fastest of anybody at points of it, and he managed his tyres really well, and he didn't make any errors, and yeah, great win for him.
Definitely. The championship now also looking very tasty. Those two new drivers, I think they're new, in Bruno Gill, who did only sign up today, and Krosak not being able to really challenge for the lead of the championship now, just due to when they've come in. But I think the overall the championship is going to be a very close one at Patras.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Colin Forth has extended his championship lead up to, I believe it's about 5 points now over DB911. But yeah, it's still to play for. I mean, Pinkwin is now also has a good chance of challenging for a title at Patras, as he's I think it's around 9 points back from Colin Forth. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting race at Patras.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very close. I think for one or two drivers, there might be some heartbreak if not everything goes to plan. If he does want to talk to us, I'm sure both of us will probably have quite a few questions for Colin, who is in this chat. I'm going to keep saying that. Maybe he exists.
Yeah,
he could do.
But,
he might even just be putting stuff away. I'm not sure if he's one of our VR drivers, is it?
I'm not sure offhand, but also worth noting is Mazak up to P2. We didn't talk too much about him for a race, but he's been
he was steadily improving.
Steadily improving, yeah, and climbing up the order. And yeah, he did a great job today to get P2.
I mean, every driver really has done a great job so far. The Subarus always coming into their own towards the end of the race. Not always being as quick on pace. I'm sure that they could have been faster. I remember having gotten a double podium for Subaru at the last race at Magny Core, P2 and 3. That came in at the end of the race as well, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We did see that to an extent today also, but the Subarus, what really hurt them in the race was in qualifying, they just weren't that quick. I mean, they qualified outside the top 10, whereas in Magny Core they were about 5th or 6th. So
yeah, for anyone watching the stream who's curious as well, I don't have a post-race screen yet because you'll just get the stream starting screen for this current minute in time while we have some rounding off words. Maybe Colin might come back and surprise us. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. I'm wondering, now that the session has restarted... Oh, here he is! Hello, Colin!
Hello, can you hear me now? Sorry.
yes, Colin.
I have problems with the volume at the moment. I couldn't get it working.
So, once again, Colin, what happened at the start of the race? It happened at Magny Core, it's happened again.
Yeah, I know. I just I went with the medium tyres, and I just overdid it on that turn. And I've practiced that start loads of times with no troubles. I suppose in the race you're just that bit tighter, and just overdid it, and made a right mess of it. Really made it really hard work for myself.
Oh, no. What happened later in the race? Because you seemed to drop back from about 6th down to 12th.
Yeah, I got tagged at the back. Ricky Risotto. He ran wide in the last little chicane before the last bend. I got up alongside of him, and we were side by side. And I think I probably never left him enough room or something, and he just tagged the back of me and spun me into the wall. It was probably my fault, actually, to be honest. I just sort of never left him enough room going into the final corner. So, that was a bit of a shame, because it was all going well up till then, as well as it could after that start. But I had some fantastic battles with DB911, though. It was that was a real race-long battle, really, with him.
On that subject, you are still in the lead of the championship now by apparently 7 points behind Trev Rick. 7 points ahead of Trev Rick. With DB911 following soon after. Is DB going to be one at Patras that you're going to have to keep a very close eye on?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's not one of my. I'll have to really practice for that one. When I've raced there before, I've not done that brilliant there, but I'll get some practice in and get it learnt. It's a difficult track for me.
Yeah. Also, talking about that great battle which you had with DB911, you passed him. I think it was on the last lap or second to last lap. That was quite a pivotal move for you, wasn't it? Especially for the championship.
It's more or less in the second from last corner that I passed.
Oh, second last corner. Wow.
Yeah, I think he was really struggling with his tyres, Harry. I could see he was, the last few laps, his tyres are completely gone, and I still had sort of quite decent tyres, because I went with the mediums, but it was good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for kind of talking to us, Colin. I'm going to be very interested. It's going to be very interesting to see, can you hold the lead and win this season at Patras? I'm sure you'll definitely be hungry for it coming into the race. Maybe it might happen. We've got to sit there now, get your head down and work for it, isn't it?
Well, definitely. I'll have to calm down a bit on the first lap, I think, before I get there. Yeah, I say thanks to you guys for doing the commentary. It's really good, actually. It's watching it back. It's you do a great job. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
There you go, then. And from me and also Colin, who is in the chat, thank you everyone else who has been watching this commentary. We will be back I will be back, sadly, and will not be joining me for the final at Patras in 2 weeks' time on the 6th of December. It's going to be a very close one. So from me and everyone, thank you and goodbye.
Yeah.